welcome to Broken Entertainment. So I had to take a break over the weekend, and I saw this news before I did so, and decided to kind of hold off. But today we're going to get into it. And a lot of people are talking about how Superman's going to be played by a black man now, and the tokenism involved in that, and the problems involved in that, etc. And that's fine. There's a lot to talk about there. There's a history of black Supermen in the comics. They're from alternate realities. They're actually different people. They don't even have the same name. They just use the same title and the same look and have the same powers, but they are different people. And you could make the argument that that's where they're going to go. They're going to play one of these other Supermen. I suspect they won't. They'll want to just change who Superman is, fundamentally. But that's not the reason I'm not going to watch anything J.J. Abrams touches. And I'm not a fan of J.J. Abrams. I think he messed up Star Trek. I think he messed up Star Wars. I think he's a political activist. Actually, I know he's a political activist. And I think he's a writing hack. But those also aren't the reasons I'm not going to watch Superman or anything he touches from this point forward. There is a conversation about separating the artist from the art, right? That, yes, a particular artist might have points of view that you strongly dislike, or they might be a disgusting person, but their art is worth looking at on its own accord. I think that's a conversation to have in a separate video, and we will have that conversation, because I think there are points where you can do that, and there are points where you really can't. And I think it's all about time. How much time has passed? You know, it's easy to say H.P. Lovecraft's art should be separated from the artist. Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft was a shockingly racist person, even for his time. But it's been 100 years, you know. And some of his beliefs are certainly reflected in his art. But it's been 100 years. For me, I cannot support anything J.J. Abrams does from this point forward, and I will not be watching Superman or any other project he works on or produces, because he's hired it doesn't matter what wing they are. He has hired a political activist to write the movie. I'm tired of political crap in my movies. I'm so sick of it. I'm tired of being lectured. I'm tired of being edutained. I just want to watch Superman punch bad guys. I think we all want that. We all want to watch Superman punch bad guys. And we want to watch Superman be the everyman's hero, because that's what he's always represented. That's why he doesn't have a lofty job. That's why he doesn't have a lot of money, even though he's one of the smartest people on the planet, because he's always been everybody's hero. You know, when he came out in the midst of the Great Depression. That's when he was created. And at that point, he represented the everyman. And he still does. Superman is an icon to look up to, a moral compass, if you will, for young children. And he is, like I said, he's there for everybody. He stood for a long time for truth, justice, and the American way. And then in Superman Returns, all of a sudden the American way was a problem. And they took that out. Then it was just truth and justice. And then in Man of Steel, he stood for hope, which is fine, because he always has. But This writer will not write Superman for everyone because he has never written a hero for everyone. And this writer has zero experience writing movies. Zero. Why then is he being handed this job? Well, it's simple. J.J. Abrams is a political activist. J.J. Abrams very recently said that it was time for white people to not be comfortable. And he said that in the middle of all the riots. J.J. Abrams has pushed agendas for a long time now. It's in Star Wars. It's to some minor extent, it's in Star Trek. But he's pushed it more and more in more recent years. So he went out and he hired somebody who thinks the same way he does to write a movie that will tell you to think the same way. This man will not write Superman for everybody. He will write an activist Superman. He will write a Superman who stands for specific ideologies and against all the other ones. He will write a politically active, politically motivated story. And we have evidence of this in his comics, because this is a comic book writer. We're taking a comic book writer and we're making him a movie writer. That doesn't work. Because, you see, comics, as you know, are a very different form of media than a movie. The pacing is different, the stylization is different, the dialogue is different. If you write comic book dialogue and put it into a movie, it looks kind of silly. And the pacing doesn't work at all. Movies have different requirements in terms of story. You can't take Stephen King or Brandon Sanderson and have them write a movie, because it takes years to perfect writing a movie. There's a reason there are specific people whose sole job is to write movie scripts, because it's hard to master. People go to school to learn how to write movie scripts. Not to say that you have to go to school to write a good movie script, but you have to have some level of experience. You cannot go from writing comics or a novel to writing a movie. It won't work. Now, maybe if you're surrounded and guided by a lot of strong writers, possibly, but probably not, because you're going to need time to develop your craft. But we're just going to take this man and put him there. You're the head writer. Go write the script. He's never even written Superman. Forget writing a movie. He's never written Superman. All I want is Superman punching bad guys. It's not hard. One of the reasons I'm a big fan of Man of Steel, even though it's got problems, is that Superman gets into fights. And he fights bad guys. And they are unceremoniously villains. And there's a moment in the movie that speaks so strongly to the character of Superman that I think a lot of people missed that don't like the movie because they're focused on, the surrounding damage and Zod and all this stuff. But there's a moment when he's trying to destroy one of the gravity pulse generators, and he's standing directly under the gravity beam, and he can't get up. He can't fly. And then, remembering that the entire world is in danger, he somehow digs deep and finds the strength to fly up and destroy it. That is Superman. When everybody else is at their weakest, when everybody else is in danger, Superman, against everything around him, becomes his strongest. That is Superman. Superman cares for everyone. Now, you might say, or someone might say, well, how do you know he's an activist? Or how do you know that'll bleed into his writing? And that's a fair question. So I want to get into that. This article spends too much time focusing on what specific kind of political activist he is. I don't care. I don't care if he's left wing. I don't care if he's right wing. I just don't want an activist writing a movie. I'm done with it. So here we go. Blah, blah. It's about Trump. Don't care. So in his book, the writer's book, the writer is named, I skipped that. Let me get up to it. Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm just going to call him Coates. He writes in his book, he wrote a book about himself because he's so important. White America is a syndicate arrayed to protect its exclusive power and dominate and control our bodies. It's an activist statement. But it gets a lot worse. And this is the part that made me say, I'm out. Writing about the firefighters and police officers attempting to save people in the aftermath of 9/11, he wrote, they were not human to me. They were black, white, or whatever. They were menaces of nature. They were the fire, the comet, the storm, which could, with no justification, shatter my body. This man does not believe the people who ran in to the burning Twin Towers to save lives, many of whom died. To him, they're not human. That's all I need to know. I can't separate the art from the artist. Not in this situation. It's too recent. I watched it happen on live television. I watched people jump out of the tower. Okay. I can't do it. I can't watch that. I can't watch that movie. I can't watch anything he's involved in. And J.J. Abrams hired him, so I'm done. Done with J.J. Abrams. Every time you think Warner Brothers has figured it out, finally figured it out, this is what they do. They do something stupid. And that stupidity was hiring J.J. Abrams. Because J.J. Abrams is a Hollywood con man. Makes everyone believe he's great at making movies. And then he moves on to another company before that company figures it out. But, again, somebody could argue, well, how do you know he's going to put that kind of thing in his movie? Because some people are activists and writers. And when you read their work, you can't tell that they're activists. And that's fine. But we have evidence of what this movie is going to be like. Because he has written Captain America. Now, there's some numbers here about when he wrote Black Panther. The first issue shipped at 55,000 copies, and then by the 12th issue, it was down to 37,000 copies, and then by 2018, 2 years into the run, he was at 21,000 copies. That's pretty terrible. So there's kind of a look into the quality of his writing. And these are not copies, remember, these are not copies sold to customers, these are copies sold to stores. We don't know the numbers sold to customers. I guarantee you, not every one of those 37,612 copies sold. This is his actual writing. This is an actual page from an actual comic that Coates wrote. Now, I'm going to read the text up here because it's clearer and easier to read than trying to read through these panels. But Steve Rogers has an Asian friend. Okay? Which is fine, obviously. But that friend, who has long been a supporter of Steve Rogers, is now lecturing Steve Rogers. Okay? Rogers' friend, Seung Jin Jeong, tells him, "You're a great guy, Steve. Possibly the best. but you've never been denied a job because of who you are, never had a neighbor think you were less of a person because of your skin color, or been told to go back to your own country. There are ways in which that can be written. But this is just flat lecturing. Okay? I'm not going to claim that this kind of thing or this kind of thing never happens. I'm sure it does. But this is lecturing. And it's going to be in the movie. Whether it's this specific scene, probably not. But in some way, it's going to be in the movie. And there's one of two ways it's going to happen. Either Superman is white and somebody who is not white will lecture Superman about his privilege, or Superman will not be white and will lecture somebody about their privilege. That's how it's going to go down. There's a time and a place for such arguments. Entertainment is not one of them. We've had it. We've all had it. I just want to see Superman punch bad guy. I just want to watch Godzilla throw Ghidorah through a building. I just want to watch the Power Rangers beat up on bad guys. I just want to watch something entertaining. I want my kid to watch something entertaining. You know, somebody told me recently, they said, you know, there's no cartoons now that are funny. And that's not entirely true, but it's pretty close. Most of them, if you turn on a kid's cartoon, what do you see? You see lecturing. You see life lessons, and there's morality lessons in children's entertainment goes back a long way. Okay, but the way it's handled is different now. Now it's laid out black and white. Here's a club, I'm going to beat you over the head with it until you repeat after me. And all the funny's gone. How many times do you watch a cartoon and you hear kids laugh? How many times have you watched a movie recently and laughed? Other than out of irony. I just want Superman to be Superman. I don't want Superman to lecture me. I want Superman to be an icon for everybody. I don't care about skin color. I don't care about class. And neither does Superman. And in making a superhero who doesn't care about your origins, who doesn't care where you come from, or how much money you have, or what the color of your skin is, by having that Superman, you make an example for kids to follow. But we can't have that. Gotta be activists. Gotta hire political activists to write this crap. So I'm out. Not gonna watch it. Don't care what the story is. Don't care who Superman is. I'm out. Because I'm so tired of this, and because I can't separate the art from the quote unquote art from the quote unquote artist in this case. I can't. It's too personal to me. It's too recent to me. And we'll have that discussion about how to separate art from artists, when that works, when it doesn't. We'll have that another time. But all I want is Superman to stand for everyone. And if Superman can't stand for everyone, I don't want him on my TV. That's simple. And I want to watch a movie, and I want to smile, and I want to be entertained, and I want to laugh a little. Unless it's a very serious movie. I don't want this crap. A lot of people don't want this crap. We're turning away from it in droves, Warner Brothers. Figure it out, please. Because we do have options. And if we can't find the entertainment we want, we'll make it. Meanwhile, we'll take the money away from you. You just guaranteed that from me, you will receive no money. I will not buy the Blu-ray. I will not buy the special edition. I will not buy any of the toys for my kid. None of it. You get nothing. And I'm not going to be the only one. There's a lot of outrage about this hiring. There's a lot of anger about tokenizing Superman. Because at the end of the day, of course, tokenizing a character does not make for diversity. It makes for an insult to the minority it's supposed to help. Because you're saying, we can't make a black character, so we're just going to turn this one black. We're not going to make a movie about Jon Stewart, who's awesome. Because that takes too much work. And we really don't want to do that, because we don't care enough. We're just going to turn this one into your skin color. Be happy. That's where we are. Again. So if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time, hopefully with better news.